Burr.
Welcome back in, everybody. Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy. That was your drum lesson, huh?
Yeah,
he's been working on it.
You sound good.
Third drum lesson.
Yeah.
Notice I missed the top hat right there at the last second.
That's okay.
But if you could do that and hit your snare pedal at the exact same time, it's hard to tell the difference. So I've been learning.
Quite all right.
So really, it's all timing in the right side, right hand, right foot.
I'm very impressed.
Thanks.
I'm very impressed. Your timing's always been good.
Yeah, and I've got a 4-piece set. And, they wanted me to bring in the second tom.
That was only a 4-piece?
Yeah, it's one of my 4-piece sets, my little set.
Wow, so you're going like Beatle-esque.
I am too. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Ringo, but I like his set.
You like the simplicity.
I do.
Wow,
yeah.
I'm impressed that all fit in here.
It's kind of using
morning.
a six irons in a set. I'm not going full. I don't need all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm just starting out
simple.
little. Throw in a couple of the bass sims and go from there, man.
Usually one cymbal.
I've got the top hat.
Yeah.
And then I got the
snare.
Yeah.
You have the little wooden block.
No, that's what I sit on though.
You say,
that's because I can't afford a chair yet, but I'm working. But that's kind of why it sounds a little tight. But
what's your problem with Ringo Starr, man?
Nothing wrong with Ringo. He just sets his set set up right off to the left.
Good morning, Hop.
He kicks his side. If you look the way it's set, it's the way he kicks. It's different. He's always been different, and he plays.
Yeah, he's a right-handed drummer, but he used a left-handed drum set. That's what
I'm saying.
Yeah,
yeah.
It was one of the unique things about him.
See, people don't think I know stuff, but I do.
Wow.
And he always had an interesting way of hitting in between the beats. I mean, the dude was a really good drummer. They don't give him enough credit for that. It's hard to emulate Ringo Starr's drumming.
Speaking of credit and emulating.
Okay.
How about our guest?
Well, I could never emulate her, but I sure will give you a lot of credit.
I think a lot of the credit goes to you, too.
I don't know about that. So let's talk to you, Claire. Are you guys ready to answer this girl some questions?
Yes, ready.
She's in the hot seat, but she's not new to this. She's been an outstanding young girl for a long time, turning into a young lady.
She has a ton of composure.
And just brilliant. So we'll talk a little bit about golf, but let's just talk about Claire in general. Right? We had a great conversation coming up, and one of the things she's going through right now, she's getting into her junior in high school, is college is on her mind. What do I do about my college and all these offers? You're just at 16. You're at the top of your class. You're near perfect score in the SAT. I believe you got a 15-20.
Yes, that is correct.
That's pretty solid.
Wow.
And you're a captain of your high school team. You organize and run a charity. What's it called? Something Garden? What do you call your charity?
So I'm the president of the Culture, Community, and Cuisine Club at my high school.
Like I said, Something Garden.
We did.
What's it called
We do
again?
a lot of different things, but we just called it the Garden Project. We fixed
Wow.
up the garden at the Orchid Academy Independent Study.
Uh-huh.
So that was part of it, and now we're trying to get a free health night for the kids at our high school. So that's what we're working on currently. So a lot of the kids who don't have health care, just one night they can come in and get it for free and get health screening.
So on top of this happening, you're top of your class and you're near perfect scores and you're captain of your golf team and you're running the garden parties and these charities and giving back to people.
Garden party.
You are also you're one of the top. You're giving back as mentor to the young players. You help me out almost every single Sunday and whenever you can, working with the little bitty kids because we now following Mike's lead and we have a TWE program out there with a bunch of 4, 5, and 6-year-olds that you are incredible with. And that you work with them.
It's a lot of
fun. You play as much golf as anybody, so you're still on a golf course a lot. And you applied for these opportunities, which are allowed to the first tee people if they stay in the program long enough and then reach certain levels, they can apply. Then you applied. How was the application like? What do you do? Just put your name in and they draw it out of a hat?
I wish. So there's a lot of moving parts to it. So they ask about your golf ability, which isn't as much as, it's a good part, but there's a lot of other parts too that they take in. So are you giving back to your community? Any other extracurricular activities do? So you can kind of talk about things you like to do besides golf. So they just want to know the whole you. And so you write essays. You can talk about any other activities you do, your golf scores, and letters of recommendation. And from that, they read through them and they select people to attend.
Well, you just went to in Washington, D.C., you got back a couple weeks ago. Is that the Perfect Sense?
That was.
So the Perfect Sense, if I understand this right, there was 8 young ladies and 8 guys, 8 boys and girls, if you will, that were selected out of the entire First Tee Network. Do I have
Yes.
it? So out of the hundreds of thousands of first tee kids that are eligible, they took 8 girls,
Yes.
and you were one of those. That's a huge compliment.
Awesome.
And 8 boys. So now there's just 16 of you there, right?
Yeah.
And what do you do? What was it's called the Perfect Sense? So what do you do with because it was a 5-day gig, wasn't it?
It was. So there was a lot to do, but the main part was we played in a Ryder Cup style event with 2 teams. And then along with the juniors, there were Special Olympics athletes and veterans. So during the week, we got to interact with them and do different activities. Like we go to Topgolf, we toured the National Mall, and then we also played in the golf tournament. So it was really cool not only to get to play golf, but to get to interact with them. So we did a whole lot.
So again, it's as the first tee is a lot of people know it, and we are a golf organization, if you will, but we're so much more. And,
Yes.
we're about character, and as you mentioned, and leadership, if you will. So that sounded like a really good time, and you did get to see some great things. But you worked with wounded veterans or just veterans?
Some of them were wounded. A lot of them were single or double amputees.
Oh, so you worked with wounded. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
God bless you. So did you have fun?
I had a lot of fun.
And you played different courses?
We just played one course.
It was in Virginia, right?
Yeah, it was called Cretan Farms.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It was it was in very good shape. It was a lot of fun to play. It was so nice.
And so did you bond with these fellow first teers?
I did. So it was really cool meeting a lot of the other kids who are kind of like-minded. So we love golf, but we also like to give back. And we're very multidimensional in what we do in our community. So just getting to interact with them and meet them.
Well, I mentioned that you applied for 4. And the 4 that you applied for was the Life Skills and Leadership Academy, which is now called the Joe Barrow, who was the founder of the First Tee. And our first, I know that you've all met Joe Barrow. So they named it after him after his retirement. You also applied for the John Deere Drive for the Future. And you applied for the Pure Insurance Championship, which is the Champions Tour event at Pebble Beach, where you play alongside the best players in the world on the best golf courses in the world. So you got selected to the John Deere Drive for Future, but could not go.
Yes. So the John Deere Academy was actually at the same time as the Perfect Sense Academy. So I kind of had to.
Well, they overlapped.
Yeah, they overlapped.
overlapped.
So I could only go to once, but I'm hoping to apply to the John Deere next year and hopefully.
And what do I have a, well, we'll talk about that one the next year. So at the Life Skills and Leadership, I've been to 4 of those, right? And they're 8 days long. And the ones I was in Kansas, and I was in Florida, and I was in San Diego. Where are you going?
Where am I going? I'm going to Boise, Idaho.
Going to Boise, Idaho.
Cool.
And it's a leadership academy. Do you have any idea what you're going to be doing there?
They've given us a brief outline.
Uh-huh.
So there's a lot of golf. So usually like in the morning and the afternoon we golf. And then some of the activities, I think there's a place called Jump Boise. So we all like voted on what activity we wanted to do. And there are things like French fry making contests, improv and broadcasting. So just silly things like that. We're all going to get to bond. I think we're doing a community service project as well.
Yep, you will be. Jump Boise. Is that like where you do bungee jumping?
I wish. So that's the place
it
where we
says
have
Jump
this.
Boise rooftop deck.
I think
Slides.
that's
But,
they have slides there too.
activity-based programming.
Yeah, so
I
that's
have
like
a feeling you're doing zip lines.
I don't know if they have zip lines there. I think that's the one with like the French fry. That's like the
I
French.
think you
There's
might
like
be
French
hooked
fry
up
thing,
to a zip line.
improv.
Doing zip
There's, like,
lines while eating French fries.
Block making. I don't know.
Zip
It's
line.
a really
That could be the name of one of your shots.
Zip
you hit,
line.
Mike.
Exactly.
You
I've hit
few-
a zip line
You might
before.
hit a few zip lines too.
Yes, I have.
So it's going to be. I can tell you from experience of mine, as far as being a coach there, that it's the longest 8 days ever with the most fun you'll ever have.
Yeah.
It is. They keep almost every minute of your time is taken.
Oh yes.
And you're doing a lot of not just golfing. You're doing activities and fun stuff, and you're taking trips and you're touring things. You do play golf.
Yes.
There's no question about it. But this is more for leadership building, and it's incredible. And I just looking through all the stuff. You're getting up at 5 a.m. every day. Did you notice? Have you looked at your schedule here?
Yes.
The way she looked when you said that at first, I'm
Do you
like,
know
oh,
what's
she doesn't
funny?
know.
If yours says 5, the coach's says 4.
Oh.
And when yours goes down at 9, ours says 10:30. So that was a long. And you're going to a BSU game center. You're going to go to the blue field you're going to go to where they.
Oh yeah,
You're
the
gonna-
blue field.
the blue
Yeah, I
field.
love that field.
So, anyways, I'm very proud of you that because I believe you are a leader. You have shown leader traits ever since I've known you. So that's a great. That's going to be a fun 8 days. And
I'm really excited.
We got to have you come back before you and explain what happened there. But the exciting one, you just got notified, And we have a few more minutes, Mike.
Yes. Yep.
The Pure Insurance Championship, which Mike and I know Nikki and I have walked around it a couple times.
Yep.
All of it around. We've had other participants. You guys are familiar with the show. We had the Averett brothers both played in it. Jack Averett in 2015 won that event with Mark O'Mara.
Yeah.
And it's to get in that field is not easy, and it has a lot to do with your golf. So these have a lot to do with your academics and your extracurricular work and your your community service. This one has to do. You have to have some kind of game.
Yeah.
And so they look at your game and your experience and your tournament records and your handicap or your index, if you will. And you still made this field. And you made it, and you're playing in September. I don't know if it's sunk in with you yet what really this is all about. Has it?
Honestly, not really. Sometimes I'm just like out golfing at Rancho, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go play Pebble Beach, and I just like remember
with could be one of the best players who's ever played the game. You're going to be paired up with the likes of Freddie Couples and Tom Watsons and all these. But now some of those tour players are our age.
When do you find out who you play with?
Not until that week for the pairings, but they're all pretty darn.
Oh yeah,
pretty good.
What an experience!
And,
awesome.
And yeah, so it's and we're going to go up with obvious. Did you come on the bus last year to watch Owen?
I don't know if I did. I think I might have had a tournament that weekend, but
do you have a tournament scheduled this weekend? So you're going to be able to miss this event? Are you sure you can make?
I might be busy, so I'll have to check my schedule.
Well, I think at some point it's going to sink in, and we'll talk to when it comes closer. Of course, maybe we'll get you closer to when it happens. But you're going to be playing Poppy Hills and Pebble Beach, and then if you make the cut, you'll be playing Pebble Beach again, primetime television. You're going to be playing. Have you played Pebble?
I've never played it, but I've walked it and seen it, and it's a really beautiful course.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
If not the most. So I'm very excited for you. You need to make birdies and pars. All right, so you got to focus on that short game because your pro is going to be steady. They usually all are. So you got to have a few highlights in there to make that team. And I think this year, for the first time, they're not only giving the low school kids team, they're giving little girls, boys and girls. I think are going to have two champions.
Oh, nice.
Because I don't think a girl's won yet. I think it might have to do with distance, just to delay.
Yeah.
But I think I read somewhere they're going to give now. I think that whoever's the pro with the low girl and the pro with the low boy, both.
Cool.
I believe I read
that's
that.
Super cool.
Don't quote me on that, but could you research? I could have sworn I read that, and I think there's been a demand.
I
for
thought
it.
I saw that somewhere too.
Yeah, it's very cool. So, anyways, congratulations with you.
Thank
you are an incredible
definitely.
person.
Awesome.
You spoke recently at a few of our fundraising events, and you speak elegantly, and you're so smart. And we'll come back later and talk with you because I want to know what your future plans are. And Mike might be able to help you. He's a college grad, and Nikki too. And she's wondering how, she's what's she going to do? Is golfing going to be included? She's going to get an academic free ride.
Yeah.
What's your grade point average now?
I have a 4.3, and I'll be taking.
And she did
Yeah,
15.
that's a little low.
She did 15, 20 on her SATs.
Jeez.
And then she's got a really good golf resume.
Oh,
so
awesome.
she's trying to figure out, and I know you want to be a doctor.
I want to be an anesthesiologist.
Right.
So.
Ooh, she could probably help you in the future, Bill.
Yeah,
I
Billy.
could have used her a couple
A
times.
couple times.
That's what my mom always says.
Because I have a shot called the anesthesiologist shot that I did.
Do you?
It's kind of a
You'll have to
gag.
just-
The one that
you
puts you
describe
under?
that.
It's kind of a gag thing, but you kind of live through it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It looks like a choke, but you kind of
Is
relax.
that where you're holding,
And then
your,
you
you're
don't
holding your
remember it?
breath?
Yeah,
You're holding your breath for the
and you
shot.
wake, and after you hit it, you don't remember a thing.
Right.
That's my
Anesthesiologist.
that's my anesthesiologist shot.
Well, that's a great shot you hit there, Bill. What is that?
I don't remember. I don't remember, but
I have hit those.
but my throat's a little sore. But I don't remember. But thank you. Did I survive that shot? Yes, you did.
What club did I use
I
for
don't
that?
know. I don't remember.
That was
but
awesome.
That's a shot that you did not hit,
yeah,
Mr. Brabenek,
What's that?
because there is nothing that you don't remember.
yeah. See, and Jack Avery, he does not have the anesthesia shot. He could call every shot from every round
Oh,
since
my
he was
gosh.
6 years old.
I
Can
hit
you do that?
Oh no! Oh God, no! I'm
Are you-
clueless after, 2 shots later.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're the anesthesiologist.
Yeah, we
players.
are. I play that shot all the time.
Do you remember every shot you hit?
Yeah, usually.
Okay.
But like during the round, I try not to think about it. They always say athletes have short memory, so I try to
Huh?
live by that. Athletes have short memory.
What were we talking about?
Yeah.
You want to take us
Yeah.
somewhere?
All right. Thank you to Dr. Ryan McGowie from McGowie Health Group for partnering with us on Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy. If you want to win a sleeve of balls, you can call the show at 805-903-1974. Shoot us an email, contribute to the show, either mike@golftalkradio.com, info@golftalkradio.com, or send an email to billygibbs@pga.com, and we might send you a sleeve of balls courtesy of McGowie Health Group, 805-461-8822, healthyslowcounty.com. So check out Dr. Ryan McGowie. We'll be right back with more Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy.